Hi everybody, welcome back to the latest in our series of videos with Steve Ackley and Roger Black. This week we're going to be talking about high emotional IQ. So to an unemotional accountant like me, just in layman's terms, what do we mean by that?
It's a really interesting one, Malcolm, because I'm only smiling, and I'm sure Steve is as well, because it may have been a long time ago that we were both athletes, but you realise one of the big shifts when you end that career and you move into real life, into the real world, whether it's with relationships, whether it's with work, you realise that as an athlete, one of the sort of prerequisites is this incredibly narrow focus. And the problem with that, of course, is that you kind of become oblivious to anything else because it's all about you. It's all about you trying to train hard to perform and one day stand on the Olympic rostrum. So I don't think I'm going to generalize. I think not many sports people develop broad emotional intelligence because we're incredibly focused and incredibly single-minded. And I think this has been a real struggle in retirement. I think it's a real struggle for a lot of sports people in retirement. And I think I've certainly found it a struggle because life isn't as simple. It isn't as straightforward as when you're just trying to train to win medals. And what we found in business is you work with more people. In relationships, you have to understand that not everybody thinks the same. When you're surrounded by athletes all the time, you're all pretty similar. But actually, when you're in a work environment, when you're in relationships, people don't always process things the way you do. So having a better understanding of other people's emotions and being empathetic is something that is actually really important. And actually, it is important in sport as well. It's just something that I don't think we focused on as much as we should have done.
Yeah, I could pick up there, Malc. I think, on our program, we talk about the 5 areas of having, a high emotional intelligence. And, we go into detail about how to improve those. And I think from an athlete's perspective, just to back up what Roger's saying, there's kind of the intrinsic side, how I control my emotions, but then there's the relationship and the social skills, the external stuff. So there's 2 sides to this. And I think the former, the intrinsic stuff, I think is what sports people are particularly good at, actually, because you have to be able to control your emotions. You have to bring the appropriate emotional state to the situation, which means reading what's in front of you, then controlling what's going on inside, and then executing whatever that the optimal performance is with a relevant emotional state, as it were. So and that sounds all very theoretical, but when you're put under pressure, you are bubbling up inside. You do get angry, you do get frustrated, you do get maybe just overwhelmed with desire, wanting to too much enthusiasm. So it's controlling all of that. But it's also where there's this sort of, another side, and that ability to, engage with others, maybe motivate people on your team, maybe, bring people along with you. So it's a lot around communication and listening skills and all the stuff that we go through into on the program. And it's been great looking back on that and understanding it so that we can, share our insights. We're not for a second saying that we're experts at it. Parts of it, yes, but I think parts of it we're also learning as well.
Do you think that people that have perhaps a low emotional IQ actually recognise that? And if they do, what's your best tip for them to work on it?
I think you make a good point. Yeah, get on the program. I think you make a good point. I think it starts with awareness. And I think my point is that when you're so singularly focused, you're not necessarily aware of other things. And I think to function at your very best, I think you have to have awareness, aware of your strengths, and also aware of your weaknesses. And when it comes to emotional IQ, the areas in which you do struggle, you do have confrontation, that you don't quite understand why other people are the way they are, and do something about it. Listen more, learn some skills, do some research, because we can always improve.
That's brilliant. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week for the next one.